Greetings and salutations. So, been a little while, but we're going to complete the series on PERT, project management. So today we're looking at the forward pass. So let's jump in. Alright, so for the forward pass, we have already done our network, and we're going to use the forward pass to calculate what we call the earliest start time and the earliest finish time for each activity. So this is basically what's the earliest possible time that we can start the activity, and what's the earliest possible time that we can finish the activity, right? And we're going to do that for each activity. So if you notice the key, earliest start time at the top, earliest finish time at the top, left, right. So we're going to do that. Now, the project is like a relay. It starts and ends when all the activities are finished. Now, for the first activities, activity A and B, these are the starting activities for the project. And just like a relay, when the relay starts, the time on the clock is 0. So the earliest start time for activity A and B will both be 0. So remember, the earliest start time, the earliest time at which we can start the activity, assuming that the predecessors have been completed, and the earliest finish time is the earliest time at which the activity can be completed. To calculate, we say the earliest start time is equal to 0 for activities that have no immediate predecessors, or it is equal to the earliest finish time of the immediate predecessor. Right? So just like our relay, when the race starts, the time on the clock is 0. So for the finish time, it is equal to the earliest start time plus the expected time for each activity. Start plus expected completion time. So here we go. Activities A and B can start right now. So activities at the start that have no immediate predecessors can start with a time of 0, similar to the time on the clock when a race starts. So 0 for A, 0 for B. Now, what's the earliest finish time for activity A? The earliest finish time is just the activity time, the start time plus the activity expected time. So the earliest finish time is equal to earliest start time plus the expected time. So for A, 0 plus 6 is equal to 6. For B, 0 plus 2 is equal to 2. So we're saying activity, let's say these are weeks. If the activity starts at 0 and the activity takes 6 weeks, then the earliest we can finish is week 6. Similar for B, week 2. So we're moving forward now. Now, activity A is the only immediate predecessor for activities C, D, and E. C, D, and E. Now, the earliest start time for activities C, D, and E is equal to the earliest finish time for the predecessor, which is A. So, just like a button, it's a relay. So at what point do we pass the button from A? We pass it at week 6. So it's passed to activity C, D, and E at week 6. What's the earliest time we can finish these activities? So, just add the expected time. So we say for C, it's equal to 6 plus 3, 9. For D, it's equal to 6 plus 5, 11. And for E, it's equal to 6 plus 5, also 11. So we have now completed the earliest start time and finish time for A, B, C, D, E. Alright, let's move on. For F has only one predecessor, and it's the arrows tell us, so there's only one arrow going to F. So as a result, the button is passed from E to F at week 11. So the earliest start time for F is week 11. What's the earliest finish time? 11 plus 2, 13. Alright, next G. G has two predecessors. 2 arrows lead to G. Alright, so arrow comes from F and one from D. F finishes at week 13. D finishes at week 11. Both of these activities have to be completed before we can start G. So it can't start until the last activity finish, which is week 13. So here we go. Activity G, 2 immediate predecessors, D and F. Right? Now, the larger is the one that we use. Right? Because it can't start until the second activity is completed. So activity D is finished from week 11, but F is not finished until week 13. So G can't move, or the button is not passed until week 13. What's the earliest finish time for G? 13 plus 3, 16. All right, let's go to H. 2 hours to H. B and C. Week 2, week 9. H cannot start until the later activity is completed, because both of them must be finished before you can start H. So the earliest start time for H is week 9. Earliest finish time for H, 9 plus 4, 13. Then we are now on to the last activity, activity I. And for I, we are seeing 2 hours again, activity G and H. So we know that it can't start until the later one is finished. So week 16 is when the button will be passed to activity I, the larger time. Right, so we pass, and the expected completion time is 16 plus 2, 18. So our forward pass has been completed because we have completed the earliest start time and earliest finish time for each activity. And we're saying that this project is expected to be completed at week 18. Right, so since I is the final activity, the expected completion time for the project is 18 weeks. And we know that at the end of our forward pass. So again, practice until perfection is achieved. Perfection is lots of little things done well. Fernand Point. Alright, so all the best, take care. We're going to be doing another video very shortly. Right, that is the backward pass. Alright, so thank you for watching. Please subscribe.